So if you were to put the key in and you do a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Alright guys, Model Rockets 321 here, back with another video, and this is my top 5 reasons why scale models are the best. No knock on sport models, no knock on exotic sci-fi models. I love those. As a matter of fact, exotic is my number 2. But here's the reason why scale is number 1. Number 5, I'm going to start with number 5. The 5th reason why is because of the research, and you get to learn. As you're building a scale model, there's many resources out there. You can look and dig a little deeper and find out more about, say, the space shuttle and the full stack, the orbiter, all that. You can learn a little more about it. And it gives you a chance to just dig a little deeper on it and find out why the programs came about and why they're launching these vehicles and all the research and stuff and knowledge that was gained from launching these missions that NASA sent up, costing all that money. But anyway, that's my number 5 reason. And this one kind of ties in, and number 4 kind of ties into number 5. It's the history. Like, it's a historical thing. A lot of these vehicles don't fly anymore, and now that you're building them and you're still keeping them alive, you know, it's just another little incentive to make it another reason why it's a little bit better than like launching just a sport model like the Red Max or something like that. They're cool, but they're not based on like a real launch vehicle. And then number 3 is the detailing and the work you get to put in on the model. Say for instance, like my SA5 right here, look at all the detailing and work you get to do. Like you get to learn about all these parts and different things like that. And it's just a little more to your modeling, just another level to it. And like I said, it was based on a real launch vehicle. So it's just another aspect, and you gain new building skills and techniques. Like for example, when I scratch built, this is my Lojo 1, I scratch built years ago from the Yido Wu plans. The plans, they should still be out there. Before SD's released a Lojo 1, this was always one of my favorite from the Mercury days. I had to do these wedge fins. Like this is one piece. I sanded, I got a wedge, and you had to sand it and get it really nice. Just a lot of the detailing here. This is a body wrap, but I had to do some scoring to give it those markings and just stuff like that. This is a Mercury Redstone capsule, so you build that standard, but everything else just give you a different degree of working and craftsmanship that you're going to be using when you're doing scale that you won't necessarily have to do when you're doing any sport models. You may use some of that stuff when it comes to the exotic and the sci-fi stuff, but in scale, it's a totally different game. And this was a find, but this wasn't my build. This the Gemini Titan. And then what this Gemini Titan did, after I got this model, I went to the Titan Missile Museum. So just to learn a little more, learn a little more about it, and to see the real thing and up close and see the missile still in its silo. And it's just another experience, and another level to your hobby. So that's why, another reason why. Then we're going to move to I guess I'm on number 2. The second reason why is because they're based on something real. You're flying a real rocket, basically just shrunk down. If you're flying the space shuttle, or Lojo 1, Lojo 2, any of the Apollo stuff, this Saturn 5s, or any of the other Saturn 1B, any of those, or any of the like the Arcus, or any of those type of rockets, any of the research rockets, missiles, air-to-air missiles, the surface-to-air missiles, you're flying a piece of history. So that's the other reason why. And the number 1 reason why is because of vehicles like this. They actually flew man into space. Like, it gets no better than that. Like, even like some of these vehicles back here, the Lojo flew monkeys, but the Saturn V flew man to the moon, flew man into space. So that right there tops the other rockets. It tops the just the sport model, the sport rockets, and the exotic, the sci-fi ones. But those are cool. Don't get me wrong. I'm going to talk about them a little bit also. Like the sci-fi kits are my second favorite. I love those. It's a lot of the exotic ones, like the Strike Fighters and all those other, the Wolverine, all these other ones, orbital transport, since that's a big kit right now. SD's reissued it, upscaled it. So just all those other rockets are great. I love that. That would be my number 2 category. But sport is great too. I got started in sport. I don't think I was building scale. Yeah, I was intimidated by some of the scale kits in the early days when I first got into it. So I would fly sport, just some sport models, just something you build, take it out to the park, launch the alphas and all that kind of stuff. They're great. they're great, but scale is the best. Like, it gets no better. Here's a Black Brant, for example. The Canadian sounding rockets, a whole family of these. And like, if you were to get into the Black Brants, you could scale for days because they have many of them, and they fly out of the United States. I think they're a partnership there, but I think they're still being flown. I think Black Brants are still operational to this day. So it's just it goes deep. Like scale models are just they're the best. They're the best, hands down. But the sci-fi stuff is number 2, and then I would go the sport models, which are great. Like I said, they're great also. But in my opinion, scale's number 1. The exotic sci-fi, the pseudo-scale type stuff, like just the fun, the X-Wing fighter and all those type of rockets are great, but scale is at the top of the list when it comes to these rockets. As far as my category, the way I put it. I was just thinking about that the other day. Here's a 1991 catalog. Look at that, all scale on the cover. All scale. Look at that. You got the Lil Joe 2, Saturn 1B, and Saturn 5 on the cover. But yeah, there's some great sport ones in here. What we got in here on the sport page? Yeah, here's some here. Yeah, it's cool. Supernovas. Here's a nice sport page right here. A couple of them. The Warp 2, great rocket, 2-stager. Supernova, 2-stager. But the Bullpup, that's the scale. The Hawkeye, nice scale rocket. I mean, nice sport semi-scale because it has some like markings with like stars and bars on that, like the Air Force. So, it's kind of trying to be like a missile or something like that. But you get my point. So that's just my take. I want to talk to you guys about that really quick. I like scale. Scale's my main thing. I have a bunch that I scratch built. And I kind of got away from it and doing a little more sports stuff just to spread it out a little bit. I'm going to get back to some scale stuff here soon, hopefully. I have some Black Brants and things, some unbuilt kits that I can put together. And then back to scale. Another reason why this book right here, Rocket to the World. If you don't have a copy, you should definitely try to get a copy of Rocket to the World. I mean, you get a lot of data, and like I said, that learning aspect, you can learn about these launch vehicles and the reason why from several different countries in here. All the countries, whoever launched something. I mean, you don't have the latest, the new stuff in there, but all the true history of rocketry stuff is in this book. I forget what date it stops at. I never really looked into when it stopped, but all the Black Brants are in there. You got Russian stuff in there. You got bunch of different countries in there, Japan and France and Brazil and all the countries India that launch stuff is in here, and China and Korea. So great book, great discussion. Drop a comment below, let me know what you think about scale model rockets. And by the way, this is the Estes space shuttle. The glider will detach. You need the fins to put in here. I have them somewhere around here. So one day I want to get this all fixed up, because right now the wings are in their like gliding position. This string pulls and it actuates that. So I have to get this tucked. So I have to look at the instructions, because this wasn't my build. This is an acquired rocket. Not perfect scale either. That's not the shape of the shuttle. This is more wide. They had to make it so it would glide. I always wondered, would it really work in its real shape? But I'm not sure. But that's it for this video, guys. If you hit that like button, please share this video out to a friend, anybody that's into the hobby. Share the channel, and I appreciate you. We will see you on another video. Stay tuned for the end of this video. We'll show you some more scale stuff at the end of this video right here. Peace.